Welcome back to the channel. We're exploring a couple of Oregon's beaches to find agates, jasper, and fossils, as well as checking out the huge king tides here on the coast. Come on down to the beach with us.
Just walking the high rocks, and there's this guy sitting here with these wonderfully agatized bivalves and gastropod that have some lovely tubular agate going on. Nice surprises in the boulders coming down. Eric found a pecten. How do we know it's a pecten? If you look close, there's that scalloped edge that goes all the way around the pancake. They're usually disc-shaped matrix material. And when we crack that bad boy open, it should have some really pretty, pearly, nacre, gorgeous enameled shell. Pecten. So just was walking, and this little guy looked like a good shape to try and pick up, not even really noticing the texture was indicative of a rather large vert from probably a porpoise of some kind. You can see that lovely texture. And Eric's hand isn't a small hand, and so how many inches would you say that is?
4?
Yeah, like 3 by 3 or so, or 4 by 4 almost. Yeah, that's some big. Nice. Cool find on a day where we don't have much of a washout. Nice low tide, but lots of sand.
In between rockhounding expeditions, my brother and I ventured out to view the king tide from one of the really spectacular vantage points, the Horn in Depot Bay. The surf blows through the rocks, creating a spout that may spray 20 to 40 feet in the air on normal days. We speculated we were getting at least double that on this incredible high tide during the peak of the king tides. Fun fact, Depot Bay touts itself as the smallest harbor in the world. I wouldn't argue that, and I certainly wouldn't want to be the Coast Guard that rescues out of this port today. The swell was huge, already 30 feet. You can see that the sea wall is at least 2 stories. There's a 2-story building you can see on the left side of the frame, and the spout is pitching its seawater higher than that. This was just the beginning. The high tide was just starting its show.
Oh yeah. There we go. Oh, this is a good set. Back on the beach, and we've got this little find right here that definitely has the texture of bone, at least I feel so. It's known that there's material like turtle shell or tortoise shell out here, because it does look different. So we could be looking at a bone part, or it could be, I think that's the wrong side. I think this is the matrix side. And then if we keep on rotating, there we go. There's your texture. So we'll take a closer look at that underneath the microscope. But interesting, and probably about like almost 6 inches. That's almost $1, right? So yeah, tide's really surgy. It's going out, but it would love to get us wet today. And so I did pick this up down there, but decided that it would be better to relocate up the beach. But you can see this is a pretty nicely colored bit of what I would assume is Oregon jade, which is fancy jasper that is green. And I suspect probably like a serpentinite or something like that, or truly just jasper. But a beautiful piece. We'll cut this back at home and we'll see what's inside. Don't know what I'm looking at, but there's some pretty interesting bits in here. And some interesting holes that looks like there's some more material back there. So we'll take this one home and we'll get some more looks at it and see if we can't figure out what we've got here. That might be really cool. What do you think it is? Eric just picked that one up. That's nice. Look at the fortification lines in that. Super good. Nice little Mooney. All right, it's a keeper. Pectin, half popped, oop, and coming apart as we speak. Always nice to see the Patino pectin. Some more. We're in a little pectin alley right now, probably. Eric found this. Looks very organic and I like that shape. It could be a scoot, it could be a shell, who knows, but we'll look at that underneath the microscope. And then Eric did also find that beautiful calcite filled, looks like a bivalve. Really pretty. Here, let me get a extreme close up. Nice. Sweet. Look at this pretty. Very nicely agatized in there. How nice. Great big spiral shell you can see with my hand as a reference. Looks like we've got a couple other little fossil sidecars in there. Oh, here's another one. But just the outside of the shell. And there's a whole one right there. It's a pretty little stone. Yeah, because of that beautiful either calcification or agatization, this one's kind of a worthwhile one to pick up. Another big piece of rather nice Torito. So you can see my boot. That's a good size. And there's some really nice details and mineralization. Looks like either some calcite or agate. Lots of pretty colors. Some jewelry on the beach today. What do we got there? So yeah, blue black agate, which is kind of the specialty for around here, so that's pretty cool. And a dog. Hi. Yeah. Very nice, very nice. And Eric found this cool little piece of basalt that has what appears to be, a zeolite or some kind of oolitic growth on the inside. It might be interesting to see more of this, so we are considering taking this as well. We'll see. But I wanted to show you. So here's this sitting in the sand. You want to pick it up? Nice. Yeah, so probably, what do you think? Porpoise vert? Probably. Yeah. Or maybe large pinniped. Good vert though. All right, we know that there's bones on this beach. Thank you. Don't even know. We're gonna have to look at this one underneath the microscope. Some pretty neat, almost jasper, very compressed. And then over here in the brown area, that looks like kind of bone. So we'll have to look at it underneath the microscope to know what it is. And then what about your purple shell? Yeah, that's beautiful. That's like a gorgeous color and so nicely preserved. Look at that. Do you look at that? Look at that. Steinkern. There's shell in there, but at least what's showing is Steinkerns. Fossils. So Eric just picked this up, and what a good eye. Like, check out that shape, end to end. Probably, what do you think, about like 2 inches, maybe 2.5, and then it's got this fantastic, fin. There's matrix in there, like some of the Nye mudstone, and then we're looking dead down the center of the bone now, and then there's the fin part, and then if you turn it around, we're looking down the end of it again, and the matrix filling up the processes. Like, so maybe these are worn off, or we're down at the end, so, or up at the neck. I don't know. If you have a guess, or if you know, definitely leave it in the comments.
We love how these huge swells clear some of the beaches so that we can find treasures. But no rock is worth drowning for. Every year, folks get swept out to sea, sadly. So don't turn your back on the ocean, pay attention to the tide tables, and have a healthy respect for the amazing power of the Pacific. During the king tides, which are the highest and lowest tides of the year, the ocean can seem calm at times and be packing plenty of energy to throw a gnarly wave at you during the very next set. Needless to say, we were very careful down on the beach during these tides, and there are times when one shouldn't even go down on the beaches at all.
I know, and this is getting bigger. Oh! Yeah, this is just some big. Oh my gosh.
Here's this big rock that we found on the beach, and at first I thought that it was a bone. It turns out that there is plenty of bone in this rock, but there are many layers, and they're smaller bones. And that's what threw me off as far as the texture went. This is a massive death plate with a lot of smaller fish bones in it. And so, kind of like what we see in Kemmerer, you have the brown shiny fish bones, although these are not put together as nicely as the Kemmerer ones. These seem to be in disarray. So what we're going to do is look at them underneath the microscope and see what details we can find. We're looking at our death plate at about 10 times magnification. You can see the shiny brown parts. Those are our fish bones or organic features, potentially from other types of marine life as well. Those thin scrolling lines, like filigree graffiti, could be profiles of pieces that are broad like the larger pieces that we're seeing here. Our fossils here in this death plate are likely Nye mudstone from the Miocene era. Scientists believe tens of millions of years old. while our bones from earlier in the video are from the Astoria Formation, making them more likely in the teens of the millions. Still pretty old. Some of the bits feel recognizable. Is that a fish cheek? Or are those maybe ribs or even the array from a tail fin? This could very well be a yard sale of a bunch of different creatures, or we could, perhaps, make out what this is with some preparation. It's so interesting to look upon these and imagine who they belong to and what they are. Down on the beach, we picked up this guy, and I promised we'd cut it open, so let's do that now. I have a feeling it's going to be a little like cutting open some Irish Spring, but we do have some gemminess here, and so I don't know. We could get a surprise. I'm not sure. Nice little pocket of something there. Let's cut it. Fresh off the saw, and I'll tell you, I wasn't going to cut the whole thing, but Ochiko, who's crying back there, thought maybe that would be a good idea. So I'll show you why. He's crying because he doesn't get the stones. Look at that. That's pretty neat stuff. Aw, poor Owahi. They're just jealous. That's some pretty cool green material. We'll see more of that. I think we'll take one of these and try a cabochon. And I like the cool design, kind of a sunshine design going on there. And we have some variety to the greens. And so we'll try this guy. This green rock turned out to be quite a gem. I would still say it's probably serpentinite, given its soft disposition, and yet it took a fantastic shine. It was a pleasure to discover this beach beauty's inner gemstone. The breaking waves that day were among the biggest I've ever seen living on the coast. You can understand after watching this power how those fossils find their way onto the beaches from the cliffs and reefs. It's incredible that they survive this formidable environment, and it's wonderful to be able to share this with you. It was an amazing time chasing the king tides with my brother, enjoying some spectacular views, unique places to visit, and really fantastic meals. If I can't find a crab on the beach, at least I can have one on my plate. We also may or may not have made all the music in this video while we were not out running around hunting for rocks. I'll leave you with the sun setting on one of our special basalt cobblestone beaches. The sound is a rare pleasure, especially during the big swells of the king tides. Thank you for watching and enjoying with us. Cheers and Steinkerns.